welcome to the show. I'm Kavita Thapliyal, and this is the show where we give you your daily guide to smarter investing and better money decisions. But today's episode is a very special one. Across India, more women are earning, saving, and investing than ever before. But the big question is, are women truly in control of their financial future? Because financial independence is not just about income, it's about decision making, security, and the confidence to build long-term wealth. That's right. Even today, many women handle household budgets but may not always participate in bigger financial decisions like investments, insurance, or retirement planning. So, this Women's Day, we are focusing on one powerful idea. When women understand money, families become stronger and economies become more resilient. That's very true. And today on the show, we'll talk about investing, risk-taking, financial independence, and how women can start building real wealth. Let's take a quick look at the numbers that we have. India's female workforce participation is still relatively low as compared to the other countries, especially in urban India. It's almost around 20-25%. In rural, we are looking at bigger numbers. But the interesting part is when women do participate in the economy, the impact multiplies. A working woman not only contributes to household income, she often creates an entire ecosystem of employment, from childcare and elder care to education and support system as well. And yet, despite managing household finances, many women still outsource important financial decisions, whether it's investment, insurance, or retirement planning. Financial empowerment actually changes the entire equation. It gives women control, confidence, long-term security, especially during life's uncertainties, career breaks, caregiving responsibilities, or expected life events as well. So today on the Money Show, especially on the International Women's Day special episode, we are asking an important question. How can women move from earning and saving to truly building wealth? Joining us today are two powerful voices in the world of financial education, Rachna Ranade and Anushka Rathod. Hi, good evening. A very happy Women's Day to both of you, and thank you so much for taking your time out today on this very special episode of the Money Show. Rachna, I'll begin with you because you give a lot of independence and financial independence mantras, okay? You believe it's less about money and more about decision-making power. Why is it so important for women to actively participate in financial decisions within the household? Has the scenario or narrative changed over the years? What's your personal experience?
I think women have been taking financial decisions since a long time. If it's about managing the household expenses, that's what I think everyone will agree. Maybe it's our mom or grandmoms. They have been doing it so effectively. The only thing is that in majority of the cases, they were not employed per se, and they were not bringing in certain income at home. That is the reason why for her, making any investment decisions was something which was not very common. But I still remember my grandma used to tell me that whatever money my granddad used to give to her, every month she would save a little bit. And she used to tell me that, Rachna, I got 1 gram of gold. I got 1 gram of gold. And I'm sure today her portfolio would be the one which would be shining the most as compared to a lot of marquee investors as well. So I think since a long time, women have been taking these financial decisions. The only thing is that their investment avenues were very much limited. They had knowledge only about very few investment avenues, primarily being gold. Now I think it's time that women step up, and they have been doing it, I feel so. But the number needs to increase. They need to increase their financial decisions to investing in other investment avenues as well, be it mutual funds, be it stocks, be it bonds, or whatever.
Right, so the inherent quality is there, and while you were answering this, Marathi quote came in my mind, which we see a lot in Mumbai and in Maharashtra. Mulgi shikli, pragati jhali. Okay,
Absolutely.
so I think that is true. I can see Anushka wondering what is she saying. But Anushka, coming to you and taking a leaf from what Rachna also answered. So we have the quality. Do you think we lack risk-taking ability or any important financial skill on the same lines? Why do you think women are often conditioned to the more cautious aspect of money? How can they overcome that mindset? Coming from you, from a relatively younger generation, I believe you think taking a bit of risk is really good for your entire wealth creation planning?
No, definitely. Risk taking is extremely important. Of course, calculated risk, not just taking risk for the sake of it. But I think women, and in general, I remember when I was, young and we used to sit on the dining table. Um, the elders would talk to my brothers, इतना टका रिटर्न आएगा अगर इतना बिजनेस करेंगे यहाँ से लोन उठाएंगे तो XYZ interest में मिलेगा. But those were never the conversation they had with us. And that's similar. That's the same story in a lot of Indian households. So it's very important that we talk to women at an early stage and we just generally involve them in a conversation even when they're young, so that that inherent fear, ke, what if I make a wrong decision? I don't understand all of this. It's too complex. That fear goes away. So women inherently don't take less risk. They are a little bit more fearful because they're not exposed to these concepts. But I think today that's changing thanks to social media. The education or the exposure to financial knowledge does not only come from homes, it also comes from social media, from news. News agencies like yourself, and hence women are also more aware that how to take calculated risk, and how to make a diversified portfolio for themselves.
It's a strange world, but I really want to know the reactions that you got, you both got at the initial stages of your career. Because, Rachna, before you stepped into this full-fledged financial and investor education domain, when you spoke about investments, when you spoke about wealth or creating wealth, did you get eyes, talking to you as if, oh my God, why is she talking like this? Or what does she mean by this? And who gave her the authority to talk like that? Did you come across eyes like this or comments like this?
Yeah, I mean, many people ask me, why have I put my channel name as CA Rachana Ranade?
Okay.
Why that CA prefix is required? I think that was required because I wanted to tell that, okay, I have that financial education.
Right.
So I have that financial background. At least now, trust me, keep the gender aside, but at least focus on that educational qualification. That is the reason why I named my channel as CA Rachana Ranade.
Right.
But yes, of course, eyeballs rolling, no second thoughts. In fact, hate comments and all in the beginning, that used to be a part and parcel of the game. For example, my surname is, before my marriage, my surname was Phadke. Phadke, if in Marathi, Phadka is a cloth, right? So I have received such comments like, Phadke, tu phadka gheun ghar saaf kar. Finance is not your cup of tea. You just better clean house. That's the only thing you can do. But then again, my grandfather used to tell this to me, ki hathi chale bazar, kutte bhoke hazar. If you have something in your mind, if you have a goal for yourself, it's okay. People are going to say something. It's up to you whether you keep focus on your target or not. There are going to be disturbances. There are going to be people who will try and discourage you. Don't even don't even give a damn. Just focus on what you are doing, and if you know your intent is good, just keep on going.
Exactly, like Arjun, just keep your eye on that aim of hitting the fish right. But then coming to you, Anushka, now when you take stock of your family finances, okay, do you have relatives asking you that? Do you even have the knowledge of the domain to handle our money? Do you do that? Because we are seeing a lot of second generation taking care of their parents and their grandfathers' money, or doing the entire financial planning for them. If you are walking the same steps, even with your family, what kind of challenges or what kind of comments?
I think initially I would not be taken seriously. मतलब बोल रही है बोलने दो, तुम नहीं जानते. We've done it for such a long time, and I think because I was a female, probably the apprehension or the questioning was a bit more. However, I feel now after 5 years of speaking about personal finance on the internet, I think the story has changed. My brothers call me for advice. My brothers ask me, oh, is this a good time to start or take exposure to this XYZ asset? Or I'm going out for a trip. I think the biggest career highlight in my life was when my Bade Papa, who is, revered in our family, he called me and he asked, Anushka, I'm going on a trip. What all credit cards should I take, or what all cards should I take, and how should I manage my money? So these smaller decisions also, yes, and also the bigger decisions, right? Like I feel Indian parents are not very proactive for retirement planning. They often leave it, our children will take care of us. So starting those conversations, enabling my mother to also become a part of the discussions, all of that has happened in the last, I would say, 1-2 years. I am also getting married this year, and I am extremely involved in the entire process. I am funding my own own wedding. I am making the decisions for my wedding, which I don't think was the case for a lot of brides in my family, say even like, 5, 6 years before. So getting that authority, asking, or people just listening to me or granting me, just that respect that, okay, what she's saying probably has some merit to it. All of that came because of my work. And I think also because what I had said before, like, okay, start investing or take exposure to gold also. I had advised my family a few things that did, merit some return because of how the economy has fared after COVID. That gave me a lot of credibility in the family. However, I think because I was a female, I had to prove myself. Had I been a male, they would have just taken my word for it.
Oh God, lovely. So first, congratulations. And also, since you have announced about your wedding on this domain, on this platform, we are definitely going to do a budget wedding special with you, okay? So before you get full on with it, just keep this in mind, that a special episode, because you're funding your wedding, that's such an inspiration for a lot of people, for women around your age, or maybe even, someone who has missed the buzz. So I think we should really do this. But Rachna, coming to you. So the point of having you both actually is because I want to understand from you different aspects and mindsets towards investments, Rachna, do you have any kind of FOMO looking at the younger generation being so well handhold on their investments? I mean, you are doing the best right now, but did you wish that if I had all of this at that age, this would have been better?
Sure. I mean, exposure to knowledge always is a game changer.
Absolutely.
I mean, I started my investing journey back in 2006. That's 20 years ago when I just entered CA
Wow.
final. And you can imagine, forget about ChatGPT or any other AI tool. YouTube did not exist. So how do I gain knowledge? Because I come from a typical Marathi family where stock market is equal to banned. That was the only word. So if I were to gain knowledge, I had to go to libraries. I had to refer certain books. Sometimes I had to understand something, sometimes I did not understand. One source of knowledge was television, but television maybe if the speakers are talking in very very high level language, then again understanding all those terminologies, gaining confidence and acting, it was next to impossible. So for me the journey started with making loads of mistakes. And you can imagine, right, 2006 I started my investing journey. 6 7 was like a prime bull run, and then 2008 happened. So the markets went down by like 60%. My portfolio went down by like 80-90%. So that was I think market has been my biggest teacher, who taught me what all things are to be done, what all things are not to be done. But yes, I'm sure if I had some nice mentor, if I had even YouTube, if I had good content creators and news channels explaining to me in simple layman terms, I would have done way better from the beginning. But nevertheless, I'm happy for the younger generation that they get good exposure. And I see the difference. There are a lot of individuals right from school, they start investing, be it in like 500 rupees or 100 rupees SIP in mutual funds. But yes, they are starting their journey, and all credit goes to their parents who are encouraging them to do so.
Anushka, coming to you. So 2 decades experience, okay? Do you think you wish you had something of their generation in you?
The relatively low asset prices to invest in.
True.
But I think with we have so much has changed. Like in the last 5 years itself, we did not have AI when COVID started. Probably it was there, but in a very nascent stage. And today it's such a big conversation. It's everywhere. So the economy is going to change. The companies which grow are going to change. The sectors which boom are going to change. We all have our opportunities. I think what I truly appreciate today is how easy it is for me to invest. I can just research, with the help of AI, with the help of research reports, and then I can just open my app and place an order to invest in mutual funds or the stocks that I want to invest. So that easiness of, investing and making decision is something I really appreciate that we have today, which I don't think existed before.
I would like to add, discipline and patience. I think that is something that the younger generation definitely needs to learn. And also, you're spoiled for choices. You have so many choices to invest, So, I mean, a younger lot right now just wants to put money everywhere. Stocks, mutual funds, crypto. They also want to do FNO. Rachna, this really creates a khichdi. Okay, and the first step towards investing, or maybe the first step towards money making, what should that be for a woman of a younger generation who's listening to you right now?
I think be it a man, be it a woman,
Yeah.
and a younger generation, I think the basic financial remains same. It's not related to gender, according to me. Any person should have an emergency fund to kickstart. Any person should have an insurance to kickstart, and then we can talk about meeting your short term goals. For that, you need to have even. I mean, many people say FDs. Really, should you have them even in today's era? I said, of course, yes. For short term goals, it is necessary because at that time, safety and liquidity is more important as compared to returns, right? So even for me, all my short term needs, I have FDs in banks, which I can access at any point in time. And then last point, for meeting your long term goals, we do talk about investing in equity, in mutual funds, in gold, whatever. Just to give an example, Anushka just said right now that she wishes that she had those asset prices back in that time. When I started investing, Anushka, first investment in gold that I did when I was in grade 11, I invested at 8,000 rupees per tola, Sona. So I think
Jealous of you
earlier
right
everyone's,
now. Yeah.
of course, the capital was very small, but
Yeah.
I just flaunt that. मैंने 8,000 से शुरू किया है. So that is the time value of money we all talk
Absolutely.
about, and that's why investing early is so important.
Absolutely. See, investing, by rules is not gender focused, and especially now talking about women. Anushka, for working women, it creates an entire economic ecosystem around, childcare, household support. We see a lot of women taking breaks also because your life stages advances, you have situations where you want to focus and maybe your priorities shift. I just want you to help our viewers understand, now women investors and viewers understand that how important it is to take a break, not regret it, because that is what women do. And when you want to come back to your career, it's more psychological more than investing planning. I mean, definitely you should have your financial support in place, but how can you go for it? This coming from a younger generation. Obviously I will ask Rachna's view also on this, but then how do you think a woman can plan about it, because you are getting into that zone? Okay, you're about to get married. I'm sure you have thought about your changing life situations and stages.
No, definitely. In fact, very recently, I was, sitting down with an Excel sheet and planning, okay, if I want to have a child number one, child number two, that's going to disrupt a lot of things. How do I plan for it? And I had basically started, I had this broad idea that what timeline I wanted in terms of, okay, this is around when I want to get married. This is when I'm planning for kid number one, kid number two. And accordingly, I backtracked that how much do I need to save to at least be sure that when I am making those decisions, irrespective of my partner, irrespective of any other financial support, how much money would I require to be assured that I can take care of my own finances. Now, of course, all these decisions that you take, a sabbatical to have your child, or in general, also, I think marriage is a very big issue for women because a lot of us have to change countries, change even, states. Countries is a bigger thing, but states, cities, and we probably have to change our jobs. So a disruption starts, when you get married and then you start planning. I think that next 5 to 7 years is very turmoil. You have to make a lot of changes in your life. So before that, it's very important that you create that corpus for yourself.
Rachna, what do you think should be the strategy? And also, the psychological aspect, because what happens, even if Rachna, we are talking about maybe working women, okay, before getting married, because that's a very important life change, life state change. Before marriage, maybe you're hands-on on your finances, your investments. Maybe after getting married, or maybe you have a child, they start relying on their partners, maybe family members to manage finances, because there's too much on her plate to do. She's got a kid, she's got other priorities. So how can one deal with it? And talking about urban or rural, women who earn, women or maybe who want to start investing, how can they tackle so many changes?
I think it's all about teamwork. If she has a lot of support staff or support system, even back at home, I think things become extremely easy. I mean, my kid is now 12 years old. Right now, when Anushka was talking about, managing finances while having a kid, while planning for a kid, I'll be honest, we never thought about it, but when we'll have a kid, or whether we have enough money or not. Of course, we both are chartered accountants. We both have been earning. I mean, since we were 22, 23, whatever, and we have been saving a lot. But when it is about teamwork, when we used to earn money, we used to ensure that we have some part of our individual earning kept for ourselves, and a big chunk of that used to go for common expenses or common investing or whatever. So it was something which was done together. Even my in-laws, they never said that, whatever you earn, you have to give it to us. I mean, it is there in a lot of families that whenever you earn, your paycheck goes directly to your in-laws and they decide what is to be done. That's never what happened in my case. Good freedom was given simultaneously. Whatever support was required, that was given. I think if you have a good support system, these things I feel become very trivial.
Absolutely. I have a lot of things to talk with you guys, to chat up, but then the timing is a constraint over here. But before I really wrap up, one last question to both of you. You both are in a position where you are influencing young minds, or maybe in people who want to really understand and get into the process of financial planning. It's very important. Investor education really in today's day and age plays a very important role. So you come from that authority. Personally, you are a mom, Rachna. What kind of an impression or what kind of a mother you think your child thinks that he or she has?
Oh, he loves the whole thing. I mean, of course, he sometimes misses me
Workaholic
whenever
man,
I
mom. In his view, how do you understand he's understanding his mother? Because that plays a very important role. Because kids learn everything from their household, and the image of the mother, the impression of the mother, is something that becomes like a role model for them. For the entire women species that they might come across in their life.
Absolutely. Now you can imagine, since he's growing up, he has seen me work. He has seen me travel. He has seen me do a lot of meetings. So for him, it is ingrained in his mind that a woman will work. A woman will take her decisions. A woman, it's okay if she's unavailable for certain, even functions in the family, because if work is her priority, it is okay.